Rajesa Vayamte Paresa Bista Nayena Prajave Sujamo Nisiddhaha Sa Esha Traya Bhina Vaksanusite Agan Mangalan Sattvamuti Vataraha. Can someone try it? This is Boston. This is Nothing works here. Nothing works here. Falling. So that is so what proposal translation by divine grace is confirmed by is Sila A.C. Bhakti Swami Sila Prabhupada Sri Prajapataya Uchuhu. The great personalities who created the various living beings offer their prayers by saying,
The great personalities created various living beings offer their prayers by saying,
the Prajapatis created by Lord Brahma,
Prajapatis created by Lord Brahma,
who have created generations of living entities. Of you. Para Issa, O Supreme Lord, Abhishishtaha, born, na, not, yena, by whom, Iranyakasipu, Prajaha, living entities, by, indeed, Srijamaha, we create, Nisiddhaha, being forbidden, Saha, he Iranyakasipu, Eshaha, this, Twaya, by you, Bina Vakshaha, whose chest has been split. No, indeed, lies down. Jagat Mangalam, for the auspiciousness of the world. For the auspiciousness of the whole world. Satpamute, in this transcendental form of pure goodness. Avataraha, this incarnation. Translation. The Prajapatis offer their prayers as follows. O Supreme Lord, Lord of even Brahma and Shiva, we, the Prajapatis, we are created by you to execute your orders. But we were forbidden by Hiranyakasipu to create any more good progeny. Now the demon is lying dead before us, his chest pierced by you. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you, whose incarnation in this form of pure goodness is meant for the welfare of the entire universe. Please kindly responsibly repeat. The Prajapatis offer their prayers as follows. O Supreme Lord, Lord of even Brahma and Shiva, we the Prajapatis, we are created by you to execute your orders. But we were forbidden by Hiranyakasipu to create any more good progeny. From the demon, Now the demon is lying dead before us, his chest pierced by you. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you, whose incarnation in this form of pure goodness is meant for the welfare of the entire universe. Mm. So there's no purport. I'll go to text 50. Sigandava uchuhu vayam vibhute nata natyagayaka yena masad birya balos jasa kritaha saesha nito bhavatat dasam imam kim urpatastaha kusalaya kalpate. Translation. The inhabitants of Gandhava Loka prayed, Your Lordship, we ever engage in your service by dancing and singing in dramatic performances. But this Hiranyakasipu, by the influence of his bodily strength and valor, brought us under his subjugation. Now, he is brought to his low condition by your Lordship. What benefit can result from the activities of such an upstart as Hiranyakasipu? Please can you respond to it? Inhabitants of Gandhava Loka prayed. Your Lordship, we ever engage in your service by dancing and singing in dramatic performances. But this Hiranyakasipu, by the influence of his bodily strength and valor, brought us under his subjugation. Now he has been brought to this low condition by your Lordship. What benefit can result from the activities of such an upstart as people? Purport. By being a very obedient servant of the Supreme Lord, one becomes extremely powerful in bodily strength, influence, and effulgence, whereas the fate of demoniac obstacles is ultimately to fall down like Hiranyakasipu. Hiranyakasipu and persons like him may be very powerful for some time, but by the obedient servants of the Supreme Lord, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like the demigods, remain powerful always. They are victorious over the influence of Hiranyakasipu by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Om Gyana Tmiranasya Gyana Jana Salakaya Saksur Militam Yena Tisma Sikha Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodata Buddhadaya Puspavanto Chitu Chandu Tamananda Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pestaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itinam Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Swamivadi Pasatya Visitari Vancha Kalpatari Vyachari Kupastam Vaishnava Vibhyo Namo Namaha. So these two texts are giving us some idea how Hiranyakasipu, when he fell, demigods, the Prajapatis, the Charanas, they were very happy. So one could be thinking, I mean, it's like, someone is killed and some people are happy. Is it all about this your religion, that someone is killed and some people are happy? But no, it's not about some people are happy. That's a difference. Now, there are people who are not favorable to legitimate integrity. And therefore, they become obstructions to social justice. They become obstruction to spiritual development. They become like a disturbance to society. Even they serve as an impediment for the development of priestly qualities or Brahmanical qualities, because people are not allowed to perform their prescribed duties. So we find here the Gandhava, the Gandhavas are very, very good with singing. They're very great musicians and dancers. They're performers, they're entertainers, they're celebrities. So most of our celebrities on this planet, and they didn't need to go to school to get a PhD before they become millionaires. Most of you have PhDs, you're not millionaires. The celebrities in America, from childhood, I mean, before they become teenagers, they're already millionaires. They don't go to stuff in school. Study and get loans here and there. No. So the government, see, because people in general will not be able to come to sit down and listen to philosophy. But music, people love music. Naturally, they like music and dancing. They go for all this entertainment. Even the comedians, they make so much money. They don't have PhDs. They're celebrities. Huh? So, I mean, it's like, one devotee had me on his podcast in India, Chaitanya Charan. So he was interviewing me on my projects, things I'm doing. And then I remember one time he said, in the discussion, he said, Maharaj, you are doing so much, but people don't know you in ISKCON. Yeah, so we don't play a gong about what about what we are doing. So those who are very the high profile people, they're not so popular. Who knows the president of Oxford? People don't know him. Yeah. Even the president of Harvard University, president of MIT, who knows it? But Trump, he's not known over the whole world. All these Beyonce and Blue Ivy, even the daughter is a millionaire. It's just 13 years, but is known all over the whole world. Because they're singers, they're dancers. The Gandhavas are very great entertainers. Most of the celebrities on this planet, they are coming from Gandhava Loka. So, when Hiranyakasipu was slain, the Gandhavas, they were very happy. They were praying, eulogizing the Lord. Wonderful. This is so good. This guy, he's been a big obstacle to our progress. We are great performers. We are singers. We entertain the Lord and his devotees. But this guy said, no, you can't worship Vishnu. You cannot, sing the praises of Lord Vishnu. So when such a person is slain, when a demoniac person is slain, or a person with a phenomenological mindset is slain, is assassinated. That was not even assassination. Would we call that assassination? No. The Lord just face to face, fought him and killed him. Yeah, so assassination is something different. It's not planned. I mean, someone never anticipated, but this was a duel. In fact, he attacked Shingadev first. So when he attacks somebody, then there's a fight. The fight erupts and you get killed. Who is to blame? And therefore, the important thing for us is that, like Papa mentions in the purport, demoniac powers, they're not sustainable. Wealth derived from demoniac or unethical involvement, in most cases, they are not sustainable. You could lose everything at some point in time. And therefore, it is mentioned in purport that for the devotee, whatever he has, the powers he gets, his victory is sustainable. So Hiranyakasipu reigned, he was terrorizing the whole world. We talk about terrorism, it's not something new. Sometimes we think that, there are so many new developments in the world, but there's nothing new. It's just that everything that have been there before. Imagine which yuga did the Shingadev appear? So it's not today. Terrorism has been there, okay? And will continue to be there, no matter what type of strategies you put in place to counter terrorism. Millions of years it's been there. And in those days, Hiranyakasipu didn't just go to attack people from behind, and he comes and, fights you and take over your position and take over your wealth, take over your resources, take over your kingdom. Chases you away to the forest. He chases the demigods away from their positions. It's not that people, someone goes to hijack a plane and then he goes to kill himself too. Hiranyakasipu never killed himself. He fought. You see, this is the difference between a real terrorist and fake terrorist. Fake terrorists, they just make a name. And they don't even survive it. They don't survive it. They kill themselves. You hear, did Hiranyakasipu commit suicide? He never carry a bomb on himself and then kill himself. He comes, fights you, kills you, or takes over your position, sends you away from your territory. This is real terrorism. You show your power by prowess, okay? And he didn't hire people to go and do the job for him. He was not a heropreneur. A heropreneur is someone who gets people to do the job for him and then he gets the credit. I don't do anything. I don't want to have a bad name. I get people to, then I get the credit. That's a heropreneur. In fact, Hiranyakasipu was not a heropreneur. We have so many people on this planet who are heropreneurs. If you go into the corporate world, and even in our movement, there's so many heropreneurs. Oh, yeah. So, real terrorism means someone takes a risk of even death, but you don't kill yourself. That's the difference. You don't plant a bomb on yourself or hijack a plane to go into to tall building and then everybody dies and you also die and so many people are killed. No, the real terrorist survives. He commits the terrorism and he walks away. He seizes the assets. That was what Hiranyakasipu was doing. And one man's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? One man's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. So this is how complex this world is. As if we're thinking that tomorrow is going to be better, things are going to be so suchi, and some things are going to be so juicy in the future. We're in the wrong place. This is a wall of terrorism. Terrorism has been there before. And here in Kasipo is the epitome of terrorism. Let's be clear. Tomorrow is not going to be better. Okay? Don't deceive yourselves. That's why it is imperative for people to devote their time to Krishna consciousness. Oh, yeah. And so, the Charanas, the Gandharvas, even the Prajapatis, they were very excited when their obstacles to the discharge of their prescribed duties was destroyed. This is the mercy of the Lord. So just like the Lord arranged for the obstacles of the heavenly beings, the Prajapatis, the Charanas, the Gandharvas, He destroyed the obstacles to the discharge of their duties. The Lord does that for his devotees too. But it doesn't mean that when we become a devotee, then we will not have any challenges. Life is so, everything is going on so paka and very nicely. No, we are in a material world. Devotees, we are even killed. And even in Ukraine, some devotees have been killed. They were doing food for life and they got killed. In West Africa, some devotees, there was a war in Liberia. They didn't leave and they got killed by the rebels. The point is, there are so many small ISKCONs on this planet. And we are endangered species. And so it is important to imbibe that culture of the demigods who are reliant on the mercy of the Lord. If the devotee relies on the mercy of the Lord, that the Lord will give us protection, then we don't have any cause to fear. But obstacles, this is a world of obstacles. Yes, we're trying to do devotional service, but we will have obstacles. But then the good news is that ultimately the Lord comes to destroy the obstacles, like he did. He cleared the way for the discharge of the prescribed duties of the Charanas, the Gandharvas, and all of these heavenly beings. And this is the promise of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Whenever he comes, he comes to do that, to be able to create some sanity in society, remove obstacles on the part of devotional service. Because every here and then, if even we don't have the exogenous factors, say external factors that are like obstacles, we have the endogenous factors as obstacles in our devotional path. We have our mind, our senses, giving us trouble. But it doesn't mean that when we have some challenges, then we surrender to the challenges. We give up. Hey, I'm surrender down to you. Oh, it's my karma. Yes, it may be my karma, but it doesn't mean that I should surrender to the ill will. That is a Spanish slogan, a luta continua. The struggle continues. Yeah. Don't give up. Okay? And so, the beauty of devotional service is that this devotee is always victorious, ultimately victorious. If we will look at our own personal lives, there were challenges. We had challenges. And it doesn't mean that because Krishna consciousness, this is the purest path of devotion to the Lord, that we will not have obstacles. No, we are bound to confront obstacles. And there is nothing good that comes easy. You tell me one great achiever who walked on roses. Tell me one great achiever who walked on rose petals. No, not a single person. You want to become a doctor, go to medical school, it's hellish. Yeah. You want to become, you want to have a PhD to go and study, and it's hellish. I know so many people in America, so many devotees who try to do a PhD and then they couldn't tolerate it. Either the professors frustrate them and then they leave, or they couldn't just tolerate it. So nothing good comes easy. Our devotional service, see, many people might be there in the beginning, but how many people will stay till the end? We should be part of that crew who stay till the end, who do not jump off the plane despite the turbulences in the air. So these demigods, they had a lot of turbulences in their cruising and through the air, through space, but they click on to their what do you call seat belts. Yeah, devotional life is also like that. So just like these demigods, the Lord came to the rescue. Prahlad, the Lord came to his rescue. When we are on a part of devotional service, the Lord is always looking up to help us, to guide us, to protect us. But there's nothing wrong in acknowledging our weakness to the Lord. And no one is perfect. If someone tells you they are perfect, better run away from that person. Then that is a phenomenological mindset. Siddham, Balavan, Sukhi, and perfect. Very powerful. This is the nature of, and we have, to some degree, we have this type of phenomenological mindset, thinking, I am the best. Yes, Krishna consciousness is the best. Every other person is completely useless. We think like that. But sometimes the things we struggle to deal with, people who do not even know Vishnu, who do not know Krishna, they are doing it so very easily. I met one professor. I was upstate New York for a conference some years ago. And this professor, she was the dean of social sciences at New York State University, a white professor. So I made some presentation on some women topic. So after the presentation, she came to me and had some discussions with me. And immediately she understood that I'm a priest. She just started telling me all of her stuff, her family and everything. But then one of the things she told me was so striking. I was thinking, what? She's a Jewish lady. In her house, she has 2 daughters, and nobody watches television. She has CNN and everything in the house. Her husband is not a professor. But then the 2 daughters, the older ones, sometimes come back to the house and start agitating for a television in her room and all this stuff. And she will say, look, I'm your mother. I'm a psychology professor. So you do not know the problem with that tube, that it has a lot of negative influence on your life. So she said, yes, she had CNN, she had everything in the house, but the whole family, her husband and the two kids, sit down in the sitting room to watch special programs on the television, the news and special programs she selected, educational programs. Because the tube has a lot of influence, negative influence on people. So when she told me that, I was really like taken aback. This is what some devotees are struggling with. And here is someone who is not a devotee, just very, very smoothly, without any struggle, not rules and regulations. She understood this is it. So, but then, reflecting on that, the point is, we should not think we are the best in everything. Some of us are struggling so much with ethical values. There are people out there who are so ethical. The difference is that they don't know Krishna. And therefore, to just have to imbibe that culture of, I am the best, I am the most powerful, I know everything. What can you tell me? I have been there 50 years in this moment, so I know everything. No one knows everything. Krishna knows everything. We don't know everything. As soon as we begin to think we know everything, that is a clear indication of a phenomenological mindset, or what you call demoniac mindset. Asura Bhava. Okay, any comments or questions? The devotees are victorious over the influence of Hiranyakasipu by the grace of the Supreme Lord. The devotees are victorious over Asura Bhava by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Yes, any comments?
Thank you for a very beautiful class. Maharaj, this, what you mentioned about being considering on the best and also comes from demonic mindset. So when we try to appreciate the great blessing that has come upon us in the form of Lord Chaitanya's gift, so we feel the joy also that we got such the greatest gift that the world is looking for. At the same time, when we are trying to represent that same thing in the world, how we should be not caught in the false ego while trying to do like we appreciate the gift that we have received, but how we should receive other people's principles, points, without getting to a false ego of being the best just because we are receiving something.
Yeah, look at, thank you. Look at the case, look at the striking example of Prabhupada. When Prabhupada came, when started his program in New York at 26 Second Avenue, the most number of the people who came to Prabhupada were bohemians, the hippies, potheads, sexomaniacs. And some of the drug addicts. I remember this devotee who is late now, but what's his name? He became a big scholar, translated a number of these the Goswami books into English. Yeah, he was a drug addict. So sometimes he will come and just lie down like this, and Prabhupada will walk from this dais and then meander a way out. Imagine someone comes to do that in a temple. You throw him out, isn't it? You already call the police. He knew what he came for, to give mercy. Therefore, The idea is that you have a child, you are merciful to your child. You want your child to grow. Sometimes you may even pamper the child, even if they do something wrong. But you integrate parenting with friendship and love. And then the child has a sense of belonging. So when we are dealing with people, we have to integrate those values in our relationship with those people. Then they have a sense of belonging. People don't want to be minimized. They don't want to be put down. And that's why I see the situation here in the West is completely different from India. In India, especially during the Vedic culture, even during Lord Chaitanya's time, the preaching was based on, a debate and competition. I debate with you. If I win you, you become my follower. Here, if you go and condemn people, you create a bad reputation for your organization. And therefore, appreciating what people have, making them feel good, and giving what they don't have makes a lot of difference. And in that way, they will not feel that we are minimizing them. Yeah. There are a number of things that we can incorporate in our preaching. Appreciative mindset. Recognition of people's contributions. What someone says. In fact, we can learn from anybody. I learn from my disciples. They're young people. I learn from them. Because knowledge is unlimited. And Lord Krishna is unlimited. How much do we know about Krishna? So if we think about that, then naturally we'll be humble. I remember someone telling me, Maharaj, but how is that? You sit down and talk with all these small boys and all these things, and how are you acting like that? I said, see, you think because I have a PhD, I have friends who have 3 PhDs, so naturally I should be humble. Yeah, think about that. Whatever you are, there are people who have quadruple of your position. Oh, yeah? Also, you're a brahmachari. So there's a tendency to think everyone else is, there's nothing, we are the topmost. Well, look at the situation with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All of his followers, none of them was a brahmachari. None of them was a sannyasi. And sometimes we think by becoming a sannyasi or becoming a guru, then, we're better than everyone else. That's not true. It's a service given to you. So you can purify yourself with that service. It's not that when you become a temple president, a temple commander, you're better than everyone else in the community. No, it's a service given to you. Either you use it to expedite your purification or you use it to expedite your degradation. That's how it works. So if we think about the merits and the demerits in service positions, then naturally you'll be humble. When you get power, there is always a tendency to be offensive. We have a good position, there's a tendency to be offensive. At the same time, we can use our positions, whatever we may be, whether we are the breadwinners of the home, whether we are, whatever. We can always understand that I am not the doer. It's just an instrument used in the hands of the Lord. Look, Krishna told Arjuna, you go and get the credit. Go and get the credit. He's done. He said, "I've done everything." So this is the typical case of an authentic hero. An authentic hero. He does this. He does it. Executes it, and give the credit to the team members. The heropreneur, he doesn't do anything and gets the credit from all of the accomplishments. And this happens a lot. My personal assistant in New York, she says, she's a professor, so she said, "Now this is," because I made some presentation at Oxford. That was one of my presentations at Oxford on March 29. I had 5 presentations one day at the management conference in Oxford. So that was one of them. And she said, she read through the abstract. She said, "Maharaj, this is typically my boss." So yeah, it's very common that, But Krishna is authentic hero. So if he executes the whole stuff, and he tells Arjuna, just go and get the credit. We sit back, we want this person to do this person to do this, and then tell the guru, "This is my accomplishment. I did this." All right.
And like in the continuity of all what you're saying, how such a person becomes forgetful that Paramatma Super Soul is saying there. Where is the question of being Krishna conscious?
By nature, we are prone to forgetfulness. That's why we come to remind ourselves every time, every here and there. If you ask me what I did last month by this time, I may not remember. We are prone to forgetfulness. That's how we are programmed. We are wired to be forgetful. Yeah.
So, as you said, Asuri Bhava. So, this Asuri Bhava, even you said there is in our movement also. Like some people become proud of the position, or they are senior devotees, or they are initiated devotees, or they are saffron devotees.
Yeah.
Post powerful. So, while doing this, then okay, taking credit for others, or then thinking that, like as if I'm pleasing my spiritual master, not thinking that spiritual master is not one person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a fundamental fact. In fact, when we read in the 10 offenses, the very first offense, someone was giving that narrative. One of the Prophet's disciples giving the narratives. So in 10 offenses, it's mentioned. Number 1 is to blaspheme the devotees. So someone may say blaspheme the pure devotees. No, it's not pure devotees. Blaspheme the devotees. So if in the Katha Upanishad, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that those who claim to be my devotees are not my devotees. Those who are servants of my devotees, they are the real devotees. So the people around you here are to be considered your feedback givers. People around you in a temple, they're supposed to be your feedback givers. You ask them, the manager must ask. In fact, this is what we are taught by Bhakti swami. Ask the devotees in the temple, ask for feedback. I remember somebody had approached me in Delhi. I was in Delhi some time ago. And then this gentleman who works for an IT company was traveling around, and he met me in Delhi temple, Sri Radhapada temple. And he came to tell me how he was in love with Bhakti swami, the disciple of Radha Maharaj. And then he said, all of a sudden he left, so he was devastated. And he asked me, "Can you be my Siksha guru?" I said, "Oh, why not? I can." So we having some rapport. And at some point in time, he wanted to leave. So he came to me that, what advice can I give him, or could I give him, to how to create more loving relationship in his family? He has a wife with 2 kids also. I said, "Oh, I have the answer to that. I can always give you. I'm a professional in the field." He said, to tell me. I said, when you get back home, when you get back to your home, it's from Pune. I said, when you get back home, when your wife is happy and you are happy, sit her down and ask her, Mataji, my beloved wife, what are the things I'm doing in this home that you don't feel comfortable, that you think I should adjust to create a better loving family? I said, this is what you should do. This will create a better loving relationship, because then you will know your wife's expectations, what you're doing, and she doesn't really like. You know what this guy told me? He looked at me right in the face and he said, Maharaj, if I ask my wife this, she will bring a whole long list. I said, oh. You ask him for, you go to see a doctor, you're given a prescription, and you say, this medicine is too bitter. Yeah, so feedback is important in our relationships. Friends, I ask feedback even from my disciples. Okay, I give them a leeway. I said, look, if I say something you don't like, you tell me. If I do something you don't like, you tell me, and I will adjust. Oh yeah, because I am not perfect. What do I know? Even in the PhD, I just one small field, management and leadership. I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm not an endocrinologist. I'm not a psychosurgeon. Yeah, you may claim to know everything, but I don't know everything. So yeah, we have to treat people in general like our gurus. What we will not do to our guru, we should not do it to any devotee. Yeah. So the power and cage. Sudarshan, who is taking? You taking? Okay. I have to leave now because I need to go and do my puja.